Good morning, everyone. Suki Honto, and have a nice Sunday. So this is our first Ti-Ratana Youth Buddhist section Puja in about 5 years. 5 years, as in 5 years since we have conducted any form of events as a youth section on a major scale. And it's been 3 years since there has been any Sunday morning puja being held at this center right here. So, hold on, the slide's not working. So, to all the viewers online, the participants online, we will start this service with our puja. Let's begin with Vandana homage to the Buddha. After that, we will be performing the preliminary homage based on the Buddhist Society of Western Australia's English text. So we all recite together. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So now we will pay our preliminary homage to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. This will be done in English. So especially for those of you who are watching online, this may not be that familiar to you. We're doing it in English because not everyone can understand Pali. So we will start. To the Blessed One, the Lord who fully attained perfect enlightenment, to the teaching which he expounded so well, and to the Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well. To these, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, we render with offerings our rightful homage. It is good for us, Blessed One, that has attained liberation, that you still have compassion for later generations. Please accept these simple offerings for our long-lasting benefit and for the happiness it gives us. The Lord, the perfectly enlightened and Blessed One, I render homage to the Buddha. The teaching is completely explained by him. I bow to the Dhamma. The Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well, I bow to the Sangha. So we will next proceed to the Ti-Ratana Vandana and the Panchasila. Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Dutiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Panatipata Veramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Adinadana Veramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Mesumichachara Veramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Musavada Veramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Surameraya Majapamadatana Veramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Salutation to the Buddha. Iti piso bhagava araham samma sambuddho Vijacharana sampano sugato lokavidu Anutaro purisa dhammasarati Satta deva manusanam buddho bhagavati. Salutation to the Dhamma. Swakato bhagavata dhammo Sanditiko akaliko ehipasiko opanaiko pachatam vedita vinyuhiti. Salutation to the Sangha. Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Ujupatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Nayapatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Samijipatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Yadidam chatari purisa yugani Atta purisa pugala Esa bhagavato savaka sangho Ahuniyo pahuniyo dakiniyo anjali karniyo Anutaram punyaketam lokasati. Next, we will proceed. We will not be doing offering this week. We will proceed to salutation and requests. This will be done in English. So this is actually a translation of the Pali original text. I salute every Chettiya that may stand in any place, the bodily relics, the great Bodhi tree, and all images of the Buddha. If by deeds, speech, or thought heedlessly I have done anything wrong, forgive me, O Master, O Teacher, most wise. If by deeds, speech, or thought heedlessly I have done anything wrong, forgive me, dearest friends and family. So next one is aspiration. Aspiration we have also translated directly from Pali. May all beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit, and may they long protect the dispensation. May the King of Gods, Saka, and all other gods and devas, all other heavenly and divine powers, share this merit, and may they protect me at all times, and protect the Dhamma and Sangha at all times. May rain fall at suitable times for successful production of crops, and may the world be prosperous. May the monarch be righteous. May all beings with no exceptions be well and happy. By the grace of this merit that I've acquired, may I never follow the foolish, but only the wise, until I attain the final goal, Nibbana. So finally, we are sharing of merits. Usually, sharing of merits is conducted after Dhamma Talk. So I believe that since we are having a Dhamma Talk, I think we should just keep this for after the Dhamma Talk. With that being said, now we will bow 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So before we begin our Dhamma Talk for today, just allow me to introduce you all to our Ti-Ratana Youth Buddhist section. So we are the youth section of Ti-Ratana Buddhist Society, and we were founded originally in the year 1999. However, due to lack of manpower and other unfortunate events, we were unable to continue our Dhamma efforts. So in 2015, we had to disband, unfortunately, as a result. Our last event was in 2016, and then recently we have returned in 2021. So with that, we will bring you more of our Dhamma works, including Dhamma talks, including sessions for the youth, and as well as we will even cater to the older communities as well. With that being said, please let me introduce you to our speaker. Our speaker for today is Brother Charlie Chia. Sorry, 1 minute. Cable is too short. Okay, so let me introduce to you all our speaker, Brother Charlie Chia. So I will pass the mic to him. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu for coming today.
A very good morning, brothers and sisters. Let me just set the... Doesn't seem to work. Doesn't seem to work. Okay, a very good morning, brothers and sisters in the Dharma. Let me introduce myself. Basically, I am a lawyer by profession, and at the same time, I'm also a professional in a development company, and also at the same time, I'm a regular speaker in quite a lot of Buddhist organizations. And also, I specialize in topics that is especially on motivational self-improvement programs, using the Dhamma as a guide in order for us to be successful in life. And I have reached a pinnacle in my life to say that I have achieved most of what I should be achieving. I have a degree in quantity surveying, honors from the University of Technology Malaysia. I also have a degree in Bachelor of Law from the University of London, and I'm also being called to the bar as an advocate and solicitor. And for almost 40 over years, I was actually involved in the construction industry as a quantity surveyor, a property developer, a group CEO of a public listed development company called United Malayan Land Berhad. Currently, I'm also an independent director in a public listed company construction called Grand Dynamics Builder. And of course, a lawyer in a firm called So Hayati. So this is my current CVs for you so that you get to know me better, because this is the first time I am meeting up with members of the Ti-Ratana Lumidi Garden in Puchong. And it was my pleasure to accept this invitation to say a few words just prior to Chinese New Year. And I think we all know that the Chinese New Year is celebrated as one of the very important events. And as a Buddhist, we would like to know how to celebrate them in accordance to our Buddhist teachings, according to our Buddhist practice, and also to our common understanding. Now, we all know that in 2023, Chinese New Year will fall on the 22nd of January, which is roughly about 2 weeks from now, the Sunday that is going to follow after next Sunday. So I believe many of you are busy preparing, and also most of you would have been ready to buy your new clothes. You want to wear something new to start this new year. And it falls on the lunar month, the first lunar month, which is actually the circulation of the moon around the earth, and it goes into a period of about 12 months. And this will be the first day, although the 22nd follows the Gregorian calendar, but the actual period where the spring starts is actually called the Li Chun, which will be on the 3rd or 4th of February. So, but we observe Chinese New Year on the 22nd of January. Now, in most occasions, when we wake up in the morning, on the New Year's Eve itself, this is a day also of a lot of significant importance, because we call this the day where we will celebrate the Chinese New Year Eve, and it always completes it with a reunion dinner. Now, reunion dinner is a time when we gather all our family together. And I think it's very significant, even according to the teachings of the Buddha, that the family is the most important occasion where we get together with each and every one and rebuild our bonding and really build our relationships as a family member. And no matter how far we are, we will gather in order to celebrate this occasion. And during this Chinese New Year Eve, we talk over our old times, we discuss our future, and also to get to know what each other is doing in the whole of past year. So it is indeed actually a very important occasion. So we treat this important dinner, and especially even you notice in China or in many other countries, people travel across the distance. And I think a lot of Chinese in China is already trying to take their leaves and start their journey. And the train stations are packed, the airports are packed, and a lot of people has actually bought their tickets way months ahead. And just in order to make it, to be able to be together, and what we call the 团圆饭. 团圆 means togetherness. So it's important, this dinner. So wherever you are, you would make an effort to try and attend. And we always say that during this occasion, we will get to remember the Buddha's teaching that it is a blessing to be together with our family. It's a blessing to be blessed by our family. It's a blessing also to be able to pay our respects and gratitude by coming together during this period in the home of our most senior member. And usually it's our grandparents, or sometimes when our grandparents not around, it's in the home of our parents. And let's say our parents are not around, then in the home of our eldest sibling, which is actually our eldest brother or our eldest sister. So it's important to note that this is actually one of the teachings which I'm going to relate a little bit later on the Mangala Sutta. Now, we have 5 most popular Chinese New Year greetings whenever we meet each other on the morning of Chinese New Year. Because when we wake up early, we must make sure that we say the right words, wish the right greeting, so that we can start the year afresh. And one of them of us is called 过年好, which is Happy New Year. In other words, we wish that the new year will be better than the previous one, and then we will live happily. The other one is, of course, 新年快乐, 万事如意. That means Happy New Year, and may all go well with you. This is a very important greeting also, and it's said by most of our brothers and sisters, our friends, our relatives, whenever we meet each other during that opening day. The next greeting that we will always like to say is 新年快乐, 阖家幸福. That means wish you a happy new year and a happy family. And again, we stress on the bonds and the importance of a family. And we are actually social animal, and social animal must live with a family. That's why sometimes we say that the Buddhists try to discourage technology advance, like for example, cloning. Now eventually you know that in the future, when we have this technology called cloning from a cells and creating a human being, we are discouraging that, because at the end of the day, when a person is born out of this process, they will not have any father or mother. They will not have any brother or sister. Then the social fabric of a family will be lost. And that indicates the most important teaching of the Buddha, which says that you must follow the germinal order. We call it the Bija Niyama, where we need to reproduce ourselves in the natural way rather than the unnatural way. So therefore, when we are born, we will have a father and a mother, and we will have grandparents, will have siblings, we will have our relatives, and it's important that we keep this knitted social fabric so that we can live complete rather than be lonely. Imagine you don't have a father and a mother and don't have brothers or sisters. It will be a very lonely existence, even though you live well. Then, of course, the common one is 恭喜发财. 恭喜发财 means we wish each other prosperity for the new year. Now, there are sometimes certain wishes that we grant for our family members and friends. And one of the common ones, we call it 幸福安康, which is actually peace and happiness. That means when we greet each other, we always say 幸福安康. And next one, of course, is 阖家欢乐. That means happiness for the whole family. Again, best wishes and for the family happiness. And there is also one, we call it the 吉祥如意. 吉祥如意 means good luck and good life according to all your wishes. So again, this is a very important words that comes out. And you prepare yourself to say these full words. You learn it by heart, actually by right. So no other greetings except only these greetings. Now, if you meet with your business clients and your corporate, what do you call, social contacts, then we will be saying 生意兴隆. That means prosperous business forever and always. And 财源广进. That means wealth sources broadly entering. That means wishing a lot of wealth coming in. And 大展宏图. Realize one's ambition. That means may you realize what you wish for, what you have want to be, and your ambitions be fulfilled. So these are good greetings, especially when you meet with the social or business clients and contacts. So you notice again, we will ask the question, as Buddhists, do we wish each other good business, good wealth? May you be wealthy, may you prosperous. Again, I'm going to go into what the Buddha taught. Because the Buddha did not teach only to people to become monks and nuns. The Buddha also contains a lot of teachings on how you can be successful in life and how you can gain wealth. So it's never wrong to be wealthy in the context of the Buddha's teachings. Because the Buddha has a lot of lay followers. The Buddha has a lot of business followers who actually supported him and supported the Sangha. Because it is symbiotic relationship. Which means to say, you will have the Sangha who has already chujia. They are, to a certain extent, given up all their worldly pursuits. But he did not discourage the rest. If you don't choose to be monks or nuns, and become ordinary laymen, pursuing your career, pursuing your business, pursuing a layman's life, then it's important that you continue to be ambitious, you continue to be successful, and you continue to pursue your wealth. And when you are wealthy, you can then support the Sangha. You can support the Sasana. So it's a symbiotic relationship. So you have to work together. So again, as Buddhists, it's nothing wrong to wish each other prosperous and successful in life. There's also, when you meet with your colleagues and bosses, what do you normally say? 工作顺利. 工作顺利 means may you be smooth in carrying out your work and your pursuits, right? There is also 事业有成. That means success in your career. May you have always success in whatever you do. And 马到成功, success immediately upon your arrival of the new year. So continuous success. And the last one, which is also very common, always said to each other during Chinese New Year to your colleagues and bosses, is 步步高升. 步步高升 means step by step. Promotions. That means promotion at every step. So whatever you do, may you get your success, may you get your promotions. Again, these are good saying. So Chinese New Year, we try to say good things and not to, be negative. Always be positive, right? And then when you meet with the little children and students especially, young ones, so you will always say, 学习进步. 学习进步 means may you be successful and always improve yourself in your studies. 学以游成, that means achieve academic success. And 金邦第一名, 金邦第一名 means always be success in whatever examination that you sit for. As students, as young people, examination is the most important steps in your life. So it is always good to wish each other that you'll be successful, you will score well, you will always be having progress in your studies. And very popular Chinese New Year greetings are 大吉大利. 大吉大利 means good, lots of luck, lots of profits. 心想事成, may all your wishes come true. And 万事如意. 万事如意 means may all go well with you, right? And 身体健康. One of the most important is always wishing you good health. Not only do you have wealth, you must also have good health. And 年年有余. 年年有余 means may you have surplus, always have enough for yourself as well as also for others. So 年年有余, and always represented by the fish. So the fish is a good symbol for that. So sometimes you put them into good sentences. So whenever you go and give greetings and meet people, put your hands together and says, 新年祝你新年快乐, 身体健康. That means wishing you a happy Chinese New Year and good health. All this you got to learn by heart, because it's important that you say the right words in the right occasion. Also, the other one is 祝你新春快乐, 阖家幸福. That means again wish you a happy Chinese New Year and also wishing you a happy family. Then 祝你新年快乐加大吉大利, 大吉大利, 万事如意. Wishing you a happy New Year, good luck, and all the best. And the last one is 祝你新年快乐, 身体健康, 家庭幸福, 工作顺利. That means the full length of it. Panjang sangat, tapi it's good that if you learn this by heart, then people always feel the wish. And of course, the last one is 恭喜发财，红包拿来. So whenever you say good greetings and good wishes, you always hope to be rewarded with a 红包. And it's a good, a way to show gratitude. And sometimes you not only give 红包 to the young, you also give 红包 to your parents. You give 红包 to your grandparents or to your senior relatives. And though it may be very little, but they remember you replacing and repaying the gratitude that is owed to them for their support, for their taking care of you, and for all their best wishes and blessings that they have bestowed upon you. So whenever you have a chance and you have some wealth that you have accrued, it's good that you give a 红包. So on Chinese New Year, always remember, not only do you give to your young ones, as young adults, when you start working, this is the time where you should actually prepare 红包 for your parents, 红包 for your grandparents, 红包 for your senior, like your 舅舅, your 叔叔, your 阿姨, 阿姑. So all these are important, right? Now, whenever you see pictures like this, you feel very closed, because this is where you go and do your greetings. And Chinese New Year is actually full of 拜年. 拜年 means greetings. So you go and visit your grandparents' home, you go and visit your uncles and aunties' homes, and you visit sometimes your senior bosses, your senior directors, and in order to pay your respects and your gratitude and thank them for your support, And this is one of the gestures. And this is actually an act of gratitude. And again, katanuta, as Buddhists, we must always be full and filled with gratitude for all those people who have supported us. So like I said, one of the best ways is to start on Chinese New Year Eve. Start with a 团圆饭. That means reunion dinner. And sometimes, of course, if you don't have the time, then you have a reunion lunch. So it's not very particular that it must always be a dinner. It can be lunch. Or even what you call meet up for a get-together, so that you can then build up your new bonds. And this is the what you call the reasons why people travel to length, in order to be back to the house, so that they can celebrate this very important occasion, the 团圆饭. And of course, you have this yi san, where you lo sang together. Lo sang together means together we now work together, work hard in order to achieve our success in life. This is one of my, what do you call, 团圆饭. Whenever we meet, my children will all come back together with my mother, who is the only survivor of my parents, and with my daughter-in-law. And once a year, we get to meet together. They travel from Hong Kong, they travel from Singapore, they travel from Australia, and we meet together and celebrate our 团圆饭. And it's a very happy occasion. I think this is one of the occasions that we look forward to every year. Right? So only love holds people together in unity and harmony. And it's because out of love for each other that we come together in unity and harmony. And the Buddha's message is always very important. The Buddhas always encourage us to unite ourselves together and then success in harmony. Right? Wherever there is harmony, there is always joy. Wherever there is feeling of harmony, happiness is found. Wherever there is unity, growth is present. Wherever there's feeling of unity, love is found. Right? So this is a very good saying. It's a good quotation, and we must learn from this. And why do we always stress on happiness? Why do we spend on unity and harmony so that it can derive happiness? It's because the Buddha always says that happiness is the Buddhist fate. Happiness is the Buddhist fate. That's a song that we always like to sing. And the reason why we are involved in the Dhamma, so that we can search for real happiness. We want to pursue real happiness. Ask yourself, why are you going to temples? Why are you going to Dhamma talks? Why are you going to learn from your teachers, Dhamma teachers? It's in order to try and pursue a way that leads you to happiness. And not only fleeting happiness, long-lasting happiness. That means once you have the right understanding about life, once you have what we call permanent understanding about what the Buddha has taught, about old age, sickness and death, about the Four Noble Truths, the moment you grasp this, then your mind settles, your mind is in harmony, your mind is peaceful, calm. Then that is where the real happiness is. Because when you realize that everything is impermanent, and there's nothing for you to get attached to, you will never be disturbed. Remember, all our problems comes from craving and desire. But when we realize that we are actually desiring for nothing, we are desiring for something which is impermanent, and there's nothing permanent about it, then the mind becomes at rest, the mind becomes peaceful. So, on this day itself also, we want to seek the blessings of our guru, the blessings of our parents. And remember, there are a lot of people who on the first day itself goes to the temple and try to pay respects to their religious teachers. Of course, after they have done so, they come back, then they pay respects to their parents, their grandparents. And what are the best way to pay your respect to your grandparents? Is to serve tea, cham cha. And when you are serving tea, you kneel before them, seek for forgiveness, and then eventually wish them well. 新年快乐，身体健康，年年有余. And these are the greetings which you say during this what you call ceremony. And the serving of tea ceremony is you serve to your parents, and then after that your children serve to you. So it's actually a lot of respect that is being developed, a lot of gratitude. So try to inculcate and cultivate this ceremony and this culture into your life. And if you have not done so, and you can go to tell your parents and say, this year I'm going to serve tea to you. I'm going to cham cha to you, and I'm going to give you an hong pao. And I'm going to say all these nice words and greetings. It makes Chinese New Year very meaningful, right? That you start the year with something very happy and grateful and peaceful. And so when we say unity, respect, and happiness, pride, love, peace, and tolerance. These are the virtues that we develop. And I think you all remember these are actually the virtues as taught by the Buddha. And once you practice those virtues, you find that your life is very complete. Your life is much more at peace. And you can face your future with a lot of confidence, because you know that the support of not only your religion, but the support of a family is always backing you up. Because whenever you're in trouble, who do you go to first? It's either go to the religion, and after that go to the family for your support, for your advice, for your understanding. And one thing also that you go before them, you seek forgiveness. Remember the aspiration? When you make an aspiration and says, for all the wrong that I've done, for all the, incorrect actions that I have committed, may I seek the forgiveness of the Buddha. May I seek the forgiveness of my guru, my teacher. May I seek the forgiveness of my parents, my grandparents, my elder siblings. And when you have this forgiveness, it's actually a gift to yourself, right? It frees you from your past. That means when you seek forgiveness, you feel relief. You then free yourself from your past, the bonds, and also the past relationship. The moment you seek forgiveness, although there may be grudge, although there may be unhappiness with you, although there may be a lot of things that they want to have said badly about you, their minds then tone down, their mind becomes peaceful, and they think of good thoughts about you. They think positive about you. So it allows you to live in the present moment and the present time. And that's what the Buddha taught again. The Buddha says, live now. What is happening in the present is more important. So when you forgive yourself and you forgive your others, you are indeed free. You achieve freedom. And freedom is always very relieving, distressful. You distress yourself and you feel so much lighter, so much happier. So forgive others, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you yourself deserve peace. So this is an important message, that when you say, why should I forgive him? Why should I be, give him a chance? No, because it is actually you who deserve the peace. Because once you are able to forgive others, then you will deserve the peace. So if you are a parent, or if you are a grandparent, or if you are elder siblings or elder relatives, when someone comes and seek forgiveness, forgive them for what they have done. And then you will be at peace. So forgiveness is the best form of love. Of course, it takes a strong person to say sorry, but even a stronger person to forgive. The Buddha has always taught us this. So remember to practice during Chinese New Year. So remember, a lot of people goes to the temple, and some of them goes during Chinese New Year Eve. Just before the clock strikes 12, they must be there. And I think you have seen some viral videos where they were all waiting at the door because the gates are not open. At the gong and the strike of 12, the gates open, and you see people rushed in with all the joss sticks in order to be the first one to plunge it into the urn. And they always saying that by being the first, you'll be the first to succeed. You'll be the first to be prosperous. You're the first to get all the wealth. But that understanding is that you want to seek blessing and you want to be protected. You want to have what we call the deities and the devas who will then be respectful or be respected and thus bestowed upon you the blessings. So you see some of the temples, they are packed, full of people, especially on the Chinese New Year. During my time when I was a child, my mother will always bring me, my parents will always bring me to the Kuan Yin Ting temple in Malacca. And this is the main converge point. Everybody wants to be there for Chinese New Year Eve, so that you can start the morning, the 12:01, in a blessed atmosphere. So whenever we think about blessing, we always remember what the Buddha taught us in the Mangala Sutta. What is the Mangala Sutta? The Mangala Sutta is the sutta on blessings. And what are the blessings about? The blessings is seeking the blessings. And as the Buddha said, the highest blessing that you can get is not by plunging the first joystick, but the highest blessing is supporting your father and your mother, cherishing your wife and children, engaging in morally uncomplicated occupations. You develop liberality in your mind, restraint in drinking intoxications, diligence in your things, humility, gratitude, patience, obedience, and seeing the holy man. These are the highest blessings. So if you read the Mangala Sutta, these are all the teachings that the Buddha taught. And he says, how do we receive the Mangala Sutta as we chant them? Is that we develop good friendship. We rebuild our friendship. Remember our old friends. Remember our relatives whom we have not contacted for a long time and says, this Chinese New Year, I will go and pay my respect to him. I will go and greet him. I will go and pai nian. And of course, by developing vast learning, masterly the skills, highly trained, disciplined, and develop pleasant speech. Pleasant speech means say good things. And of course, filial piety. Filial by paying respect and respecting and show gratitude to your parents, to your grandparents, to your grand uncles and grand aunties. So, what did the Mangala Sutta say? Like I said earlier, these are the few things which I've already described to you earlier, right? Bahu deva manusacha, mangalani achintayom, akanka mana sotanam, bruhi mangala mutamam. It's good that during the Chinese New Year, at the strike of the clock 12, when you are seeking blessings, recite the Mangala Sutta. Many deities and men, yearning after good, have pondered on blessings. Now pray, tell me, what is the highest blessing? You see, a deva was sent by the heavens to go and see the Buddha. So on that night when he appeared in the Jetavana Grove, in what do you call in the bamboo grove, Jetavana Grove, in Savasti, the deva asked the Buddha this question. Because the devas were arguing among themselves and says, all the humans come and ask me for blessing. Actually, what is real blessing? Then the Buddha then answered them and says, Asevana cha balanang, panditanan cha sevana, puja cha pujaniyanam, etang mangala muttamam. Not to associate with the fools, to associate with the wise, and honor those who are worthy of honor. This is the highest blessing. So it's not just by plunging joysticks and then praying and saying your, what do you call, may I be well, may I be happy. No, you get to translate that into actions. Matta pitu upatanang, Putta Darasa Sangaho, Annakula Chekamanta, Etang Mangala Mutamam. The support of your father and mother, the cherishing of your wife and children, and having peaceful, uncomplicated occupations or career. This is the highest blessing. Right? Danang cha dhammacariya cha natanangkan cha sangaho anawajani kamani etang mangala mutamam. Liberality, righteous conduct, helping of your relatives, support them, and you always have blameless actions, then this is the highest blessings. Kanti cha sovacha sata samana nancha dasanang kalena dhamma sakancha etang mangala mutamam. Practice patience, practice obedience, meet up with religious teachers or samanas, and have religious discussion, like learning from them, listening to Dhamma. This is the highest blessings. So the Buddha has verily in the Mangala Sutta says, on such an occasion when you are seeking for blessings, always try to recollect what the Buddha taught in the Mangala Sutta. Of course, the Buddha has says that it is not wrong to love your relatives, your friends, your parents, and they are actually your lokamitra, right? Which looks after your spiritual concerns beyond your material world. And they are also your lokotara, which all beings are connected. So we are all one in this universe. We are not separate. Whatever happened to others, happened to us. Whatever happened to us, also happened to others. And if you are happy, others will be happy. If others are happy, you are also happy. So we are actually linked by a common energy, a cosmic, universal energy. So we must always show concern for each other. So sabbe satta sukhi hotu. Now when we talk about the 4 divine abodes, that means the 4 virtues, the 4 Brahma Viharas. When we talk about metta, always have good feelings for each other. When we talk about karuna, always have compassion for others who are not fortunate. Remember, sometime in Chinese New Year, when you go to temple, there will be a lot of beggars. And we always feel that it is a good time to go and give, some sedekah. And we place money, we place coins, we place dollar notes. And sometimes we even offer gifts. And we take it upon ourselves that on that evening, if we can do a lot of good merits, it is highest blessings. Then of course, mudita, rejoice in other success. Whenever we meet with friends and we hear that they are successful, wish them, congratulate them. And then always says that they will have nian nian you yi, they will always have surplus all the time. So don't have the iri hati or jealousy. And lastly, of course, upeka, maintain stable mind. Always keep your peace. Don't get easily affected. Don't get easily jealous. Don't get easily angry. So once you have this, then you develop a lot of friends, a lot of love, and these are unselfish love, right? So there's an old Buddhist saying that when you meet your soulmate, when you meet your friends, remember that the act to bring you together was already many years in the making. You are not meeting them for the first time. Your friends are not your friends only for the first time. They could be your friends in your previous life, many 100 years ago already, right? So always appreciate and be kind to each other. Then you will always understand why that friendship flourished. So make good friends and have a chance to get together, reunion if you can, gather and then wish each others lots of love and friendship. So always be friendly. That's what the Buddha always advised. Be kind. Say good words, right? And always treat each other well. And this is the time when we meet with friends, right? And we pioneer to each other. So show your caring. If they are in trouble, give them some comfort. give them some supporting words, and wish them well. And it's good to practice them during Chinese New Year. And of course, understand who are your true friends. Your true friends are the one who care for you. The true friends are the one who have a lot of concern for you. The true friends are always saying good things and recommending you to success, to a lot of good things in life. And best friends are like diamonds, right? We always say that 朋友 is forever, best friend forever. So the moment you are celebrating it, always remember, who are my best friends? Shall I call them up? Shall I wish them? Shall I text them? Shall I WhatsApp them? And some of them will be very surprised to receive those messages from you. So use this occasion to rebuild your friendship. So these are some of the good qualities that the Buddha always says, that the one who gives is beautiful. It's hard to give, but that's what is hard to do. Then you will endure painful and ill-spoken words. Now, his secrets he will tell you, your secrets he will keep. When misfortunes overstrike, he doesn't abandon you. When you are in trouble, they will always support you. So these are what we call true friends. And Anguttara Nikaya, this is what the Buddha taught us. So when you have good friends, time to call them, let's have a reunion. Let's have a dinner together. In the Chinese New Year, it's always a good time to have dinner together. You know, I always have this opportunity to meet up with new friends, good friends, and then we have a dinner. We celebrate together. And this is one of the occasions that I always enjoy, right? And of course, you find that, you know, even the Sultan, royalty also wish you. And it's always a good feeling to get greetings from someone who has concern for you, who thinks well of you, right? And 拜年 or visiting each other during Chinese New Year is always good. This is one way to rebuild your bonds and friendship and gather together. Not only do you meet in your relative's house, not only do you meet in your grandparents' house, you also meet each other in your good friend's house. And you find that other races also come together and wish you and 拜年. So it's a good time also to rebuild up harmony and what you call unity. And we call it a good relationship that you build among all races, irrespective of religion, irrespective of race or creed. And young people come together, sing some good songs, and wish everybody 恭喜发财. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that a very happy occasion? Right? So like I said, during this period, practice these 4 Brahma Viharas. And we always say that, you know, when we wish each other 恭喜发财, good health, happy, and be wealthy, success in all your life. We say that no, it's not wrong to pursue wealth. And the Buddha has always encouraged us to pursue wealth in the Adiya Sutta, that you be rich, but be rich for the right reason. Don't be greedy. And if you can make wealth, make wealth. But if you have surplus, then use your wealth for a good purpose. And when you use your wealth for a good purpose, and when you use your surplus to help others, you always feel complete. You always feel happy. Joyful, isn't it? When you are able to have extra to give. So, when you are wealthy with a purpose, it gives you meaning in your life. So, wealth, if not well managed, can be dangerous. But wealth, if well managed, is always very useful in your life. So the Buddha saw the economic stability is important. Keep your mind peaceful so that you can practice the Dhamma. And he also saw the harmful side of wealth. So if you fall on the wrongful side, which means to say you become more greedy, you become more aggressive, you become more angry over failures in life, you become jealous of others, then all these negativities must be put aside. Right? And uno loco atito tahan daso, which means the world is never satisfied. And then you will be always a slave to craving. So always pursue wealth, fat chai, but fat chai with a good purpose in life. So don't be poor. The Buddha never asked you to be poor. The Buddha always spoke as poverty as suffering in the world. So it's one of the suffering. And it is amazing that he understood that the importance of having earnings or wealth as an essential factor to every layman's happiness. So poverty will continue to plague our life if we continue to live our life with bad habits, not ambitious, not disciplined, not industrious, and living your life without creating wealth and building your reserves and spending away and squandering away, falling into deep debts due to lifestyles. That means you, what you call buy before you can pay, or you spend more than you can earn. That is no good. Spending beyond your means and then ever commit. Of course, the Buddha mentioned this and try to ask you to reduce. And even during Chinese New Year, spend usefully. So a Chinese New Year is actually a religious-led cultural cultivation. When you practice the culture, always remember what the Buddha taught. And as I said, this is one of the very strong message that I would like to say so that you will celebrate this Chinese New Year very meaningfully. With that, thank you very much. And may you all have wealth, have health, 恭喜发财. Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you very much, Brother Charlie Chia, for that Dhamma talk. So now that we have concluded the Dhamma talk, we would like to just share merits before we proceed with the token of appreciation. Idamme natinang hotu sukhita hontu natayo. Idamme natinang hotu sukhita hontu natayo. Idamme natinang hotu sukhita hontu natayo. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So here is a token of appreciation for you. It's a statue of Guan Yin.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for giving a Dhamma talk. So for all the viewers watching at home, please do take note that our next Sunday Puja service, it will not be on the next Sunday, due to the fact that that is Chinese New Year. It's the first day of Chinese New Year, so I'm very sure everyone is celebrating. When it is, we'll update you on when it is, because I believe even 1 week before Chinese New Year, everyone is very busy as well. So please follow our Facebook, our Instagram, join our WhatsApp group, join our Discord in order to stay updated on when our next Sunday Puja service is. Yeah. Usually if there's no festivals, it will be every second and fourth Sunday or first and third Sunday of the month. So thank you so much for joining us online. We hope that we'll see you in person. We will be having a Chinese New Year celebration sometime in February. So we hope that everyone will be able to attend that celebration in person. As there's not many participants in person here today. And of course, hymn sharing is best done when in person. So today we'll skip the hymn sharing session. But thank you so much for coming. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And may all beings be well and happy.